name is Matt Schorr, the creator of all you see here. Spooky comics, spooky books, spooky everything. It's my jam. So when you are not buying books from me, from my website, www.mattschorr.net, be sure to subscribe to Raze Chaos.
And welcome back, everybody. My name is Raze Chaos. You've made it back to my channel. And isn't it fitting that Raze, on Valentine's Day of all days, has more Addams Family? Because nothing says love quite like the Addams Family. It would have been more appropriate if I actually had a Gomez going on here, but that's not the case. Today we have the Deluxe Morticia Addams, and we have Uncle Fester in the Addams Family Mansion. So, yeah, Raze really was. Raze has the like at least one of every character as far as the original Addams Family Addams Family TV show series, which is what these are. He's got like the entire family there. He hasn't gone to the Wednesday Netflix series. He hasn't gone to the Addams Family animated series that they made afterwards because, quite frankly, he hasn't watched the. For one, he hasn't watched the Wednesday Addams series, which I know seems odd, but and second is quite frankly with the Wednesday Addams show, it's just her. Like they're just putting out versions of Wednesday and her classmates and other people involved in that series, and not necessarily the entire Addams Family, which is cool. I mean, it's cool. That's what they're doing. But Raze isn't a Wednesday fan. He is the family fan. So, and as far as the animated stuff goes, that just doesn't hit right. I mean, honestly. Watching that series, watching those movies, Raze didn't even watch the second one. I mean, it really said something that when they put out the second Addams Family animated movie, that Raze just kind of glossed over it. It was like, who gives a damn? I think there was only one part of the first one that really stood out, and it wasn't even the Pennywise reference in it. It was just it was something from a more obscure reference, and that was absolutely hysterical, and it was easily his favorite part. But beyond that, it was just kind of like, it just didn't hit right, I guess. But what does hit right were these figures, and Raze honestly thought he was done. And he just did a while back. He just did the Wednesday Addams dancing from the TV series, and even then he says, "Yeah, I thought I was done with this." But yeah, when that new batch that came out, it was just like they were like, "No, we're not going to let you go now." And even then, even if it was just Wednesday dancing, Raze could have resisted that, but they broke the seal. Because they broke the seal with the Addams Family Mansion. And that was just too much. Because that would have been the one Addams thing that Raze didn't have. And of course, once you broke that seal, you got Wednesday dancing. And you got Morticia Addams on her freaking wicker chair. That was also part of that series. And all because they unleashed the mansion. Which, that was dirty pool. I'm going to say that right there. But we're going to go ahead and put this guy away, and we are going to get into these. Yeah, to get into this, this is Morticia Addams. This is played by the amazing Carolyn Jones. This was one, probably could have resisted it had it just been, it's like, okay, I've got all the Addams Family. I don't need Morticia in her chair because I've got Morticia. That was the that was the thought. He probably would have been able to resist this as well, because I think the only other thing that they put out for this line was Gomez Addams with the jack-o'-lantern. And oddly enough, that's the one Raze didn't get. Because they did a great job on hitting the what's going to tempt people. Because, I mean, Wednesday Addams and her little dance, that's full on become a meme. Little gift that they put other music on, and you have little Wednesday Addams dancing to it. That's all over the internet. And, but for, like, longtime series fans, it was seeing her in this chair, which always seemed out of place because it was wicker. It wasn't like this big ornate black throne item. It was just a wicker chair. And while they were popular at the time, not so much anymore. And on top of that, yeah, it just didn't really fit the whole motif of the Addams family. It's like, why would she be interested in a wicker chair? I suppose it could harken back to a Cleopatra-like look, but that's kind of moved further away. The thought of that being Cleopatra-like has moved away from wicker, like, in a sense. But we're going to go ahead and take this out, and we're going to have a look at her. Here she is in this outfit with her super skin-tight dress, and I love that they put the I don't know, tentacles at the bottom of her dress out. They just arrayed that out. That just looks so perfect. And yes, Carolyn Jones in the chair. And it does, even though it is a wicker chair, and it does pull off the effect of it being a matriarch's throne. And it's really cool. And like you saw it, like if you watched the original TV show, you saw her sitting in this chair, and always the cool, calm demeanor, and just absolutely rocked that. Carolyn Jones totally rocked that part. Totally created it, because essentially anybody that's played it since has played Morticia Addams since. The first place they look as far as where they're going to start this is back to Carolyn Jones. She originated the live action version of her, and you know, before that she was just a character in a comic strip in the New Yorker with the rest of the Addams Family. So she it says a lot that so much of her of what she brought to the physical, what she brought to life with Morticia has always carried over. There have been a few things that like other people were able to bring and cement to the character anyway, which, you know, good on them, but like for the most part, you've got this huge, she painted a picture of Morticia Addams that was almost perfect, and she absolutely rocked it. So yeah, it was kind of a no-brainer to get this one. Once I realized I was going to get more Addams Family pops. Yeah, that was, yeah, just could not resist it. It's like, we've got Morticia, we've got her in her chair, and yeah, it absolutely rocks. And yeah. Yeah, it's just too cool. I mean, you can sit this just about anywhere, and everybody's going to know exactly what it is the minute they see it, and they're going to go nuts because it is that good looking. But that's not the only one we have. We do have the Addams Family Mansion. And, yeah, this was what really tore it. This was like, okay, yeah, I have to get this, because this is Addams Family Mansion, and it comes with, I mean, technically it comes with two different characters, because it has Uncle Fester and he's carrying Thing, and that's just that just makes it really awesome. And of course, yeah, like when I was looking at it, thinking, okay, yeah, there's no way. It's like I've got the entire family. I mean, unless they put Grandmama out, I can't think of a character. They've done Cousin It. They've done, they've done Lurch. Lurch was holding thing. Yeah, it was just like you've got the whole thing. You've got Pugsley. You've got Wednesday. You've got Uncle Fester. You've got everybody. I was like, yeah, I don't see a need to get more of these figures. And then they popped out the one thing they hadn't made up until that point, which, considering I don't think Pop Towns are or ever were all that popular, but to put out the Addams Family Mansion is just like, oh, you just hit me below the belt there, because there's no way. At this point, the figure next to it really didn't matter. Raze was getting this. Because, I mean, they could have gone a couple different routes with this. They could have, I mean, they went with, Uncle Fester with Thing. They also could have done a Lurch with his chauffeur cap on, like that actually happened in the series. That would have absolutely made sense with this, because it's just like, yes, the house and the butler. That totally would have made sense. Ha, Funko, don't you wish I worked for you? But yeah, this was a no-brainer. So I think we're gonna go ahead and take this out, and we're gonna have a look at it, because good God, I've been waiting for this. Here we are. We've got the house, and we've got Uncle Fester, and we've got Thing, and that is so cool. Uncle Fester, of course, was played by Jackie Coogan, who was really the biggest veteran actor in the Addams Family TV series of all of them. He was the one that had the longest career. He was originally a child actor, and I believe he is the reason for a lot of Hollywood's child labor laws, because, I mean, he was exploited as a child, and as he got older, he continued to be able to work, but he was always in a position where he was able to, hey, this is how I was taken advantage of as a child. And I mean, I know that's still a hot topic. There's still, like, out there where children are being taken advantage of in Hollywood. The studios breaking the rules that were set by essentially his lawsuit. I mean, Hollywood's still breaking the rules. Hollywood's always going to break the rules, because that's what they do. Yeah, but he is one of the pioneers. He is one that was able to get a bunch of other child actors together and force them to change their ways. And he was able to, and then later in his career, he was able to become Uncle Fester, and basically wrote out Uncle Fester until he passed. And he brought out a lot of Uncle Fester. And I think what's really fun about this one is that if you watch the old TV show, see, there are, in Raze's head, there are two different Festers. There's the TV version of Fester, which came from the TV series, and then you had the movie, the Addams Family movie, Addams Family Values. Then you've got that version of Fester. The big difference is the relation. In the show, in the TV show, Fester is basically Morticia's maternal uncle. So, like, yeah, Morticia's Fester's sister is who is related to Fester. It is related to Morticia. It's like, yeah, he was biological, maternal niece, and yeah, it was just like they had it that way. And then when they did the movies, they made Fester Gomez's brother. And for anybody that really got up in arms about that, if you go back to the New Yorker, the original comic strips that happened, Fester was just Fester. he was Uncle Fester, but like it was never defined as to where in relation he was. It is possible because there was a closer tie with Charles Addams, the guy who created the Addams Family. There was more of a closer tie to him that went into the TV series, so there is a possibility that that's exactly the way it was, but never seen anything saying that that's what he insisted upon saying. Primarily, he when he talked about Fester, it was just that he was a creepy character, and if it weren't for the fact that he is in this family, and basically under the cops, under the radar of the police, he would essentially be long since imprisoned and always been there. He's somewhat nihilistic and just kind of carefree as far as doing harm to himself or anybody else. And another fun bit is the holding thing, that's actually Ted Cassidy's hand. Ted Cassidy, of course, the guy that played Lurch, he also played Thing in the silent role of using it, which makes sense because his hand was so big that it was easy for him to, it was easier to be seen. There is actually an episode where I believe Morticia's mother comes to visit, and she brings her version of her thing, I guess you'd say, which is female, and that is actually also played by Carolyn Jones. She played the female hand, like pet or whatever, in that episode when they had that. I don't remember it might have been Morticia's sister that shows up that brings that. I'm not 100% sure, but it was all played by Carolyn Jones anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Which takes us all back to the reason that Raze went ahead and splurged on all of this, and that is the Addams Family house, the mansion. Their house is a museum, and people come to see them. This is just awesome. What I love about the design of the Addams Family house is it being 3 stories with the big, decorated, the side and sorry, got a little flustered there. What I love about this is that they make it big enough to where even watching the show, either watching the TV show or the movies, they've always made the house a large house. And while it's not, we've seen bigger houses, we've seen bigger estates and everything. It's not like the biggest house in the world. But what I love about it is big enough to where whenever they take you anywhere in the mansion you want to see, like it doesn't matter how long it takes to get there, no matter what. It's a lot like the TARDIS, where the inside is actually much bigger than the outside, or that it appears in the outside. And it was due to the size of the mansion that it gets questioned a little bit less. It's just how much is in this house. And it's basically a cartoonist's dream that that nobody's gonna look at the outside and think, well, how does all this go out there? It's a little bit believable. It's a little more believable. Obviously nobody's ever been able to figure out exactly the layout of the inside of the Addams Family's house. But I think that's by design. But yeah, this is really cool. This version just basically looks more like a funeral home, which it makes sense, but I think it's going a little far. I think it's a little unnecessary. I would have liked it better had they kept it with the whole house as a museum aspect thought to it. But at the same time, I do believe when they were making the TV show, they did kind of want to style the house, the outer appearance of the house to resemble a funeral parlor. Which, yeah, the detail on this is amazing. I love the house. I love I love how it's massive. They still made it a little dirty. Which, you know, it's one of those things where it's really kind of hit or miss as far as the detail goes, because I mean the show was in black and white, so yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, I think that Raze has spent enough time filling your heart with love on Valentine's Day. I'm sorry, I just in this case, Raze very selfishly showed off something he loves on Valentine's Day. And I hope you've got something out there that you love just as much, because yeah, that's what this Hallmark video is all about. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I hope you've had a great day, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite bit is, and what you thought of the, what your opinion is on how they did the mansion. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here now, but never forget, the life is full of odd moments. You never know when you're going to be defined.